After the first week of class, I'd like to take some time to share with you some thoughts that I have regarding the topics we've been reading and discussing. First, it's a quote from Henry Nouwen. He says, "The question you see is not to prepare for ministry, but to live in a state of ongoing preparedness, so that when someone who is drowning in the world comes into your world, you are ready to reach out and help. It may be at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 9 o'clock. One time you call it preaching, the next time teaching, then counseling, or later administration. But let them be part of your life in God. That's ministering." In my years of experience and research on leadership and coaching, I've come across some important parallels between pastoring and coaching. So I'd like to share with you a few things I wrote down some years ago with our coaches. As a coach, whether you realize it or not, you are in the ministry. You may think, isn't being a minister reserved for the pastor at my local church, the evangelist on television, or the parish priest? Well, that may be so, but if you're a believer, then the profession of coaching comes with the responsibility of ministry as well. Why wouldn't it? We are on the front line in a spiritual battle where our youth are bombarded with messages promoting the self. Without the proper guidance, they often get lost chasing the desire for wealth, power, and prestige. I can only speak for my situation, but over the last 20 years in education, the level of anxiety within our schools and in the family has risen to extreme levels. As young people strive for academic distinction, athletic accomplishment, and social standing, what is clear to me is that we are training the mind and the body at the expense of the spirit. Recently, I've been researching mentoring, initiation, and rites of passage. What I've found is that parents need someone to come alongside them and assist as a mentor to their child as they enter their teenage years. In years past, extended family were much more likely to live in the same neighborhood, which provided a natural opportunity for mentoring from an uncle, an aunt, or a grandparent. As many of us can attest to, this rarely happens anymore. We now live in sterile communities. Neighbors rarely talk, and if they do, it is at a very superficial level. There is nobody around anymore to help us raise our children and provide a model outside the home that is desperately needed. I am sure there are some exceptions to this, but I have not seen very many in recent years. This is where you come in as a coach. Our role has taken on new definitions as communities have changed across America. The point is not to think I will prepare and then hit a point when I think I'm ready to lead. Rather, as Henry Nouwen stated, a state of ongoing preparedness means that we are always ready and watchful for opportunities to make an impact on the lives of the athletes we teach every day. This ongoing preparedness touches upon an important aspect of our leadership, our presence. The truth is, we leave an imprint on those we lead by who we are every day. The essence of leadership consists of our being rather than our doing. John Wooden altered the following saying by Elbert Hubbard, which touches upon our leadership presence. He said, "No written word nor spoken plea can teach your team what they should be. Not all the books and all the shelves, but what a leader is himself." The relationship we have with our athletes is much more than what we do for them or what they do for us. Rather, it is a sacred trust. John Wooden described it this way: a leader, particularly a teacher or a coach, has a most influential power on those he or she leads, perhaps more than anyone outside the family. Therefore, it is the obligation that the leader, teacher, or coach treat such responsibility as a grave concern. I consider it a sacred trust, helping to mold character, instill productive principles and values, and provide a positive example to those under my supervision. Furthermore, it is a privilege to have that responsibility, opportunity, and obligation, one that should never be taken lightly. In our hyper-anxious generation, chances are your presence will make the difference in the lives of the athletes you lead every day more than anything you say. However, that requires us to continue the path towards wholeness in our own lives. The fact that you are enrolled in this program is proof that you are committed to this process. As you begin your coaching philosophy, keep this at the forefront of your mind. as you consider the following questions. Where am I taking my program? What is our purpose for existing? And what are the tangible mechanisms that I can put into place that make the answers to the first two questions become a reality? Remember, coaching is your ministry, and you have a sacred trust with those you lead.